Alright guys, so we're working through another Rainbird Cirrus how-to here. So we're building an irrigation program for Blowout. So I'm just going to show you guys, we were provided with an assignment, same thing as before. Ian Morrow, our instructor at Olds College, gave us this assignment here. I'll just let you guys, you can pause and read that. Just gave us criteria. We can have 8 heads running at a time. We're going to break the course up into 4 different kind of schedules and run through it, moving away from the pump station. Like I said, you guys can pause and read through that. I'm just going to jump back into the Rainbird Cirrus here. So we're going to show you guys how to start building a blowout program so you can kind of run things the way you want to rather than letting Flow Manager take over. So the first step of this is you're going to have to go into program detail and then jump into your program here. So just for example, I've got front 9 greens here. Go to the schedules and you have to switch this. So this number here is telling it it's allowed to run a maximum of 10 stations at a time. I'm going to switch that to 1 so it can only run 1 station at a time. And this way, Flow Manager is basically taken out of the equation and we get to kind of control what runs and when it runs. So that's why we do that. We're going to go back here. And the other thing we're going to tweak is we don't want to blow out these stations. We've got our runtime set for 10 minutes. We don't want to be blowing out these stations for 10 minutes. It's too long. So we're going to go through the course 3 times. So the first 2 times we're going to do 3 minutes, and then the last time we're going to blow them out for 1 minute. So we can just go into our water budget here, and we can just dial this back to 30%, and that'll give us 3 minutes of runtime because it's 30% of our 10 minutes. We'll run it like that for our first 2 programs. On the third program, we'll dial it back to 10%. So set that up so it's at 30. And then you're going to bring up your map here. We're going to go into this little compass icon on the top left here, and we're going to go into Program Builder, and then what you're going to be able to do here is add a program. It's going to ask for a name, so we're going to call this Blowout. Program number. So we're going to set this to standard, OK, and then we're going to click Add a Schedule. So what we're going to do is just go around the course, and I'll start here. So we'll do one for hole, just for hole 15, for example. So we're going to go by station. We're going to click OK, and then what that's going to give us the ability to do, so you can see our little pump icon in the top here under P1, the little red fire hydrant. What we're going to be able to do is add stations in order of how we want them to blow out. So we're going to work away from our pump station, kind of like this. So we're going to start selecting stations here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can just go around and select the stations in the order that you want them to blow out, so you can force the water wherever you want to in your course. Go along and click here, and then we're going to work along this way. So now you can start coming over this way, that station, and then you can just work along to push the water, just depending on the shape of your course and how you want to do blowout. You just click along and add all the different stations. The challenge with this is if you make a mistake and click on the wrong thing, you pretty much have to start over again. What I found you can do though is you can hit the delete icon. It'll ask you if you want to delete, and when you hit no, it'll erase all of the stations that you've selected, but it won't get rid of the schedule. Whereas if you hit yes, it'll delete the schedule when you start it again. That's a little bit, you can save a little bit of time there. Alright, so now that I've showed you guys how to add stations to your blowout program, I'm going to show you what a completed program looks like. So I'll just jump into the kind of software side of it. So we've got our blowout program. We've got to make sure we have this set to 1 on all of them, so it thinks it can only run 1 station at once. We have the course divided up into 4 different kind of quadrants, I guess you would say, so that we have 2 stations, or 2 heads, 1 station. They're paired together running in each quadrant at the same time for a total of 8 heads, all working in a direction away from the pump house to push the water out towards kind of the dead ends of the course. So we're not chasing it around. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty simple program. I'll jump into the map here to show you guys what that looks like. Alright, so I'm just going to show you guys kind of how this works. So I'm going to start the program here, and you're going to get to see some heads running around some different spots on the course in the different quadrants. So you can see we've got some flow here, and then you can see some heads come on. So you can see we have heads coming on in all 4 of our different quadrants. So each one of these reflects a station running, which is 2 heads. So that'll give us a total of 8 stations running. And then as it works through the program, you can watch it and see what heads are running. And I'll jump into a dry run here. I'll kind of show you guys what the time frame for this looks like. So we'll set this up. We'll play it. Alright, so just for example, we've got our blowout program to give you an idea of how long it takes. So it's starting at 8 p.m. At night, and then we let it run all the way through until about 4:30 in the morning the next day. So this is one cycle of our program. So obviously we would have to run this 3 times consecutively to blow out our course, the way we've been instructed to on our assignment. Like I said, for that last time, all we're going to do is just dial back the water to 10% just to get it back down to 1 minute from the 10. Alright, so I've got a little diagram here, guys, kind of explaining blowout a little bit more. So imagine this is your compressor here at the top, or you might have it hooked into your pump station or anywhere in your course that's suitable, really. I've just drawn kind of a basic diagram where you can see here, where you're going to have to come along, and you say you have stations all along these pipes here. You're going to have to come along and be running the stations, and then when you get to here, you're going to head off this way. You can continue down here, and you're going to have stations running kind of simultaneously along here, and then we get along this way, you start running stations. And then you sort of have to have all 3 of these kind of moving simultaneously along down this way. And then, for instance, here, this is a loop system, for example, where you'd have to, this X represents an isolation valve you'd have to close. Otherwise, as you come along here, you're going to be pushing water back in this direction. And you could potentially blow it back past where you've already blown out, and then you'll never get it out of the system. So it's just to kind of demonstrate that where you have to kind of move out and away from the compressor. So I just wanted to explain the quadrant thing a little bit more to you guys to kind of understand how to break up your course. So right in here is our pump station. We broke it up into these 4 quadrants, so 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. So we just divvied it up with some holes here, and what happens is you have one station and 2 heads running in each quadrant at a time to kind of force the water out and away from the pump station. I know this is kind of confusing because this course is a little bit of a challenge the way it's laid out. But I just wanted to give you guys a better idea of how we broke down those quadrants so you can kind of see what we did and where we split it.